Welcome back to the Chester Centurions podcast, where we explore the mindset and strategies behind long-term business success. Today, I'm joined by Ian Hazeldine, founder of Yellow Circle, a digital agency that started life back in 2006 as a small web design outfit and has grown into a full-service digital partner, offering web, software, and app development for clients across the UK. In this episode, Ian shares why he left a safe job to launch a business in honour of his late parents, the early lessons he learned about pricing, self-worth and mates rates, how he adapted to the fast-moving digital world while staying true to his core values, and why treating your own time with respect is just as important as serving clients well. We also get into the habits that help him stay focused, like switching off email notifications, and how a CRM overhaul and better project systems help reduce chaos and boost client experience. From technical insights to entrepreneurial wisdom, this one's packed with practical advice and hard-won lessons from someone who's built a business with real staying power. Let's dive in. Ian, welcome to the Chester Centurion podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, before we get started today, Ian, I'd love to know a little bit more about yourself and about Yellow Circle, what it is you do, and maybe how long you've been trading.
So Yellow Circle actually was formed in 2006, but didn't start trading until 2007. So we've been going quite a while. Prior to that, my background was as a web designer, developer. And when we started out, that's all we actually provided were web design packages. We had 3 of them, priced at this, and this, and that was all we did. Today, we offer quite a bit more, a varied range of services, shall we say. Okay,
what are those services, just out of interest?
So the core ones are web design and digital marketing, and those two are intrinsically linked. It's the websites look great when you have them designed, but without the digital marketing and the strategy, they're not going to do much for your business. So those two things are intrinsically linked. We also offer website hosting and domain registration and all that kind of stuff. But we do web development, and we do software and mobile app development as well now.
Oh, wow.
As well as and maintenance and support for existing websites and clients who have a newly designed website and need it updating regularly and making sure it stays online all the time, basically.
Really cool. And listen, what motivated you to start your own business back in 2006? What was the driving force behind your decision to take on this entrepreneurial role?
Right. So my previous job, before I worked for myself, for my own business, I worked for National Veterinary Services. I believe they're called NVS Group now. And I was their senior web developer at the time. And I was there for 7 years. It was a long stint. But as time went on, my boss left. He was the head of IT, and I got lumped into marketing, which is fine. But my new boss had her own jobs, and I was sort of on the periphery. So I was getting a little bit bored there, and there was nothing challenging. I would come up with ideas and stuff because it was a group of companies. I'd come up with ideas, but my boss just didn't have the time to execute them or talk to me about them. And my parents passed away and left me an inheritance. So my dad worked for 27 years in a physical job at Michelin, which he hated, but the money was good. So I needed to do something with that inheritance that would sort of make them proud and not waste it. So I decided to use that to start my own web design agency, Yellow Circle.
Wow. And going back to that day, Ian, in 2006, I think you said, what was going through your head? How were you feeling?
Well, the day I actually set it up, I remember it very well because it was February 13th and I hate the number 13. So I was like, why did I do that? But it was a Saturday, so I wasn't actually at work. And I just thought, I've been thinking about it for a while. I'm going to do it this morning. I'm going to register a company and I'm going to start making a website in the background. And then I'm going to actually take the first step to launching this business. And I had a clear idea of what I needed to do. I just wanted to cover my salary. I actually wanted to buy a motorbike. I never got that motorbike, but I did start Yellow Circle. Priorities changed, and yeah, I was like, I'm going to do this. I can do this. And then just over a year later, I decided I'm going to do this full time rather than just. I was doing some foreigners for the first year just as a supplemental salary, and then I thought, no, I'm going to leave my job that I'm not fulfilled in, and I'm going to go out on my own, and that was scary.
Very good. And as that business started to grow, what would you say are some of the common misconceptions about running a business, and how do you go about addressing them?
Okay, so I quickly learned that if you offer, so I was trying to get business in any way I could. I quickly learned that if you offer people things for free, it actually holds no value to them. So don't do that. Also, I think people often think when they talk to you and you've got a business and it's running and working, I think they think, oh, well, you've got it easy. You can be flexible with your hours. You don't have to adhere to a set number of holidays. You work from home sometimes. It's easy, but they don't see all the things, all the steps you have to take to get yourself there. So it's not easy. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of self-discipline as well.
I think there's a couple of good points there. Going back to that first one, I've written it down actually. Free holds no value. Tell us more about that. What do you mean?
So we were trying to go over and above. So what happened with all the websites I'd previously developed, obviously they were for other employers, so I couldn't use them. So I had no portfolio. So we were trying to sell a web agency that hadn't got any websites to show. So I was offering things above and beyond to win the business. Some things I would do for free just to get them over the line. But then the next time they came back, they were like, well, you did it for free last time. Can you do it now? They wouldn't necessarily put value on your time because you said, well, I'll just do this for free, or this will only take a couple of minutes, when in reality it's going to take you 30 minutes, but you're trying to get that business in. So I think I would say that you've got to sort of respect yourself at the start and think about, you've already succeeded. You're not desperate for things. You've already succeeded and got the customers. The quality of the service should be what brings them back time and time again, not the fact that they think they can get a freebie.
Yeah, I think you've nailed that, Ian. Respect yourself. In fact, I use a 2x2 grid, and down one axis, if you can imagine, respect for yourself, and down the other axis is respect for others.
Yeah.
And the top right-hand corner on that grid is win-win. I'm sure we've all heard of win-win.
Yeah.
Amazing how many business owners at the beginning of their journey are lose-win. So there's a vast amount of respect for the client, but not a lot of respect for yourself. It's
for yourself, yeah. Yeah, and another thing I heard when you started out is people ask, can I have mates rates? Well, mates rates should be full price and paid on time because they're your mate. It shouldn't be dramatically reduced and I'll get round to paying you when I can.
That's brilliant. I love that. Mates rates should be full and paid on time because they're your mates.
Yes.
Ian, that's gold.
They should be supporting you. Yeah.
Very good. And moving on, how do you maintain a work-life balance as a business owner? And do you have any sort of personal rituals or habits that keep you motivated and focused?
Yeah, so another one, and this is not being lazy, this is actually making me more productive, and it's better to keep me motivated, is I don't keep Outlook open all day. I don't have my inbox open all day. I open it at set times during the day and deal with the emails that come in batches. Whereas before I could be working on something, you get a notification from Outlook, you see a client saying, can I have some of your time? And you stop doing what you're doing to read that email. And it shouldn't be that way. You wouldn't queue in a supermarket and just jump to the front of the line and expect to be served straight away if there were other people in front of you being served. They are treated as a virtual queue. That's a good way to keep myself focused during the day. I'm a family man. So during COVID, all I did was work because digital took off quite a lot, but we also did graphic design and branding then. No one wanted that because no one wanted anything you could touch. So we had to get as many websites in as well. And my wife actually pointed out to me during COVID that all you're doing is working. Sometimes I come into the room and you don't even look up. So I was like, right, I need to put a stop to that straight away. I've never forgot that. So, evenings and weekends are mine. They are my time. Similarly, if I'm off for annual leave, that is my time. we've got other members of the team that, can pick up things while I'm not there. But that is my time. The very first time I did it was my honeymoon, back in 2018. I went to Toronto and I actually took Outlook off of my phone for the 10 days we were there.
Very good. Very good. There's a couple of good things in there. Control your emails. Do you have a holding message? Because the way I coach that is, just send a holding message saying I read my emails between 10 and 11, and again between 3 and 4. If you need me urgently, call me.
Yeah, we don't actually. I have a holding message when I know I'm not here. But during the day, I mean, we get back to most people during the day, the same day as they've emailed anyway, even if it's just a first response to acknowledge. But yeah, we're actually standardizing some of our regular emails at the moment. I'm going through and standardizing them so we don't have to keep writing them out and saying the same thing.
Very good. Very good. So control your emails is definitely a really, really good ritual to get into, and protecting your evenings, your weekends, and your holidays, giving yourself the time to recharge and get ready for the work again is important as well. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So business is moving faster, I guess, than it's ever moved. In this constantly evolving business landscape, how do you stay adaptable and open to change? And are there any specific strategies that you use to remain innovative?
Yeah, so obviously we keep our eyes on what's going on in the industry. Everybody knows about the rise of AI. We use AI in our business for code syntax checking sometimes. If you've written thousands of lines of code and there's a semicolon missing somewhere, it's far easier to put your code into an AI and say, what's wrong with this code? And it will tell you. So if we're particularly stuck, we might do that. We also have made our processes more efficient so that we can serve more customers more effectively in a shorter period of time. So we've invested in software last year to allow us to do that project management system, and overhauled our CRM system to make the touch points with customers more regular and more standardized, so they always know what's going to happen next, rather than us phoning them up and taking time out of their day. They can just read it when it comes through. Okay. And then we've also looked at our internal team and how we work together. So we actually communicate. I'm out quite a lot on the traveling to networking events or seeing customers. So we use Slack as a communication platform. So we've actually got designated time where I will not interrupt the team on Slack, which is between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. I will not message them unless it's a dire emergency, and then I'll just call them if I need them to do something straight away. But I try and keep that to a minimum. And that new way of working has reduced the chaos, shall I say, a little bit. Like last year, we were so busy, and during the autumn and leading into winter, it was just, we were bringing in new business, but like there was just projects everywhere at different stages. So we were like, we need to do something about this and smooth it out a bit. So that's working a lot better in 2025 since we've invested and used those new systems and set boundaries as to when we can, interrupt each other's days.
So I get that you've systemized the business, which is always good. I think we should always be reviewing our systems and making sure that we're as effective as we possibly can be in business. But from a broader perspective, what do you see the future of web pages looking like? I mean, maybe that's a big question to ask, but
yeah, I mean,
are there any trends happening that we should be aware of?
So obviously, you can go into ChatGPT and it says, "Create me a website" now. We've had website development platforms for years that will build you a website, like Wix, Squarespace, those kind of things, GoDaddy. I think what won't change, what will actually stay the same, is those systems will get more. They will be better at producing the actual content, but you're still going to need the human element to actually promote the site, because that's what actually gets business in. That's what, when we say to clients, here's the predicted ROI, it's because we have done all the research and we have planned out the campaigns. So I think people should be aware that those tools to get them started, Shopify is a really good one for e-commerce, and you can build some great websites with Shopify. but you still need a human to sort of manage it and market it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say don't be fooled by the flashiness of some AI generated systems or some web development platforms, because what you have to remember with every web development platform is the people that you're paying, okay, you're paying a little bit each month to, £10 a month, whatever. They don't care what you do with your website. It's down to you to actually build it and market it. No one's doing that for you unless you do the reading and learn everything yourself. So it's a good way to start, and they will get better as time progresses. But don't forget the human element going forward into the future.
Focus on the outcomes, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. And could you offer a glimpse into the future plans and goals for your business? I mean, what do you envisage the next chapter of your journey to be?
Well, we've started already. We started about 18 months ago diversifying the services. I've touched on it at the start that we now offer software development and mobile app development, native mobile app development across iOS and Android. So we've worked with the Staffordshire Chamber of Commerce on several projects connecting their systems. We've taken a conveyancing company from several offline processes into one web platform that their entire business uses and relies on every day now, as do their partners that they work with as well. We've done that. We've connected EPOS systems for bricks and mortar stores to their e-commerce website. And we're currently developing an app for the farming industry to help them gain grants and funding from the government for things like hedges and repairing walls and things like that. So quite a wide range of things we've been doing that are outside of web design and development, but also they link in nicely because obviously we've got a lot of experience of web development. So yeah, those services have been quite successful over the last 18 months. So we plan on rolling those out more and continuing to grow those.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on today, Ian. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast. But I've got one question left, and it's a biggie.
Okay.
Are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
So what are the 3 biggest pieces of advice you would give to someone who maybe was thinking about starting their own business, or maybe they've started their business and they're struggling a little bit? What are the three biggest pieces of advice you would offer, Ian?
Okay, so touchdowns at the start. Don't think of yourself at the start as being at square one. Picture yourself having already succeeded. Operate like you have already been successful. Treat yourself with respect. The second one is make sure you surround yourself with the right people. And by right people, I mean the right team, the right contacts who can offer you advice and point you in the right direction when you need advice and guidance, and the right customers. Get the people around you that will help you to achieve what you want to achieve. And then thirdly, keep measuring your success. Don't think you're doing well or think you're doing badly. Make sure that you pay attention to the figures and make sure that any time you're spending making a product or delivering a service is actually going to generate money back for you at the end of the day.
Wow, that's a big one. So picture yourself as if you've already been successful and have that mindset of success, and make sure you're respecting yourself as well as your clients. That's absolutely huge, Ian, and I'm 100% behind you on that one. I use that a lot, and it's great to hear it from you. Surround yourself with people that are going to help with your journey. Surround yourself with people that can help you and drive you forward. And keep measuring your success. Tell us a little bit more about that one just before we finish. What do you mean by that?
So we deliver services, and our services generally are based on the time it will take us to deliver that service. So we've got a measure that we are actually quoting the right amount of time for the right amount of resources, and making sure we deliver that project not only on time, but at a level that generates money for us. We're not just spinning our wheels. And also, we have a lot of repeating invoices every single month, and some of those are quite small amounts. They might just be a domain hosting service or something like that. So keep an eye on your figures and make sure that you're actually growing year on year. You're not sort of sitting still, or in the worst case, declining, because you can be getting money in, but if your outgoings have gone up too much, you're not actually making money. So it is important to keep an eye on incomings and outgoings regularly.
So know your numbers, know your KPIs, your key performance indicators in the business, and be able to monitor them regularly to make sure that what you think is happening is actually happening. Because
Actually happening, yeah.
numbers don't lie, Ian.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Don't I? Listen, I think we'll end on that because that's beautiful. What 3 great pieces of advice there. Thank you, Ian. Thank you so much for being on, and let's stay in touch. I'd love to have another chat.
Great. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you. Cheers now. Bye-bye.